All right, this FlipPilot how-to video is going to cover adding records to your FlipPilot pipeline, your deal pipeline. There's several ways that we can do this, okay? Get these records inside of this pipeline and work them through our workflow. The first one is to manually add them, okay? So if you click on this plus sign up here, so a global add, and you find record, and we'll add the record, which is basically a lead that could become a deal, that could become, finished and sold. So that's why we call them records. So that keeps the data the same, whether it's a lead, becomes a deal, and goes further. That data is always associated with that one record, so that's why we call them records inside of FlipPilot. I'm going to click to add one, and it's cool because we can set our status, which is going to place it in the proper column of the deal pipeline. And I'm going to say this is just a new record, which is what it's going to default to. And the campaign, the marketing campaign, if you know it came in from a certain campaign, you can select that so you can attribute it to that campaign. We've got a separate video on that you can watch on marketing campaigns, a feature-focused video. And so I'm just going to leave that none though for now and move on here. So the property, this is where you put in your address. Let's say, we got the cool look ahead here, so you don't have to type the whole thing out. It's very cool. The seller, Johnny Applesauce. And just going to give them some bogus phone number. Don't try to call this. And let's give them a bonus. Yeah, it's a bonus email address here. All right, cool. And then you can assign one of your users on your team or yourself to that record right here when you're creating it. I'm going to go ahead and add Charles to it. And then I'm going to create in view. And what that's going to do is create that record and then pop it open for me to see. And it's cool because I'm going to be able to see all of this cool stuff. I got the Google Street View of the house and the actual map, so I can zoom in and check out where that's at. And then the notes over here and all this kind of cool stuff. So we have this record now in the account. So that's the first way. That's the main way for a lot of people getting started in this until you move into where you're needing the integrations of the Pro account and FlipPilot, where you can integrate CallRail and you can integrate Gmail too. If you have G Suite, you can integrate Gmail. And so what those things allow you to do is when you integrate the CallRail account, you can have phone numbers from CallRail trigger new records being created. So even if you don't answer that call or anything, if that call comes in through one of your campaign numbers, it's going to create a new record here in FlipPilot with just the phone number and any caller ID information that it has and no address because it's just the phone call, right? But that way you know that that potential lead came in through one of your marketing numbers through CallRail and gets put right into FlipPilot right here for you to work it. So none of these calls, which are prospects or potential leads, right, coming in, don't slip through the cracks because they're going to populate in here. So if you're out and about and you get a call, you miss it, and it came through your CallRail number, when you come back to log into FlipPilot, you're going to see that here so you can take care of it. Hopefully you return the call if you missed it right away, but you're going to have that record already here in your account and you can start adding to it. So it's very cool. Same thing with text. If a text comes in through one of your marketing numbers through CallRail, that record will be created right here so you can start adding the property information, all that kind of stuff for the lead. I love it. It's super awesome. Make sure nothing ever slips through the crack. No lead is ever left behind. The other way with the Pro account is to have webhooks set up. So if you have a website, you can set up a webhook so that any new lead that comes in through the form on your website creates a record here with all the information that came in through that form. So it's super powerful, automates that lead push into FlipPilot for you. Now there's also some other very cool advanced stuff that a lot of our customers are using in FlipPilot, using Zapier, taking stuff from like Lead Sherpa, a lead blasting campaign. And if somebody responds to one of those, they consider that a lead, and it'll push that response into FlipPilot as a new record for a lead to be worked by them and their team. Very cool stuff with a Pro account that you can do to add records into FlipPilot. And while we're on the subject, I'm also going to say, if you have a call come in and it creates a record here, and you look at the number and then you call or you listen to the voicemail if there was one, which is also another really cool reason to have the CallRail integration in the Pro account, because you can listen to the actual recording of the call and find out if that was spam. So if it's just a junk spam call, you don't even have to call back to find out. You can listen to that, say, oh, it's spam, and then drag it over here into not a lead, so it's now a spam record. It's not a lead. And so in your stats, yeah, this is cool. In your stats, it'll show up as the not a lead right here. All right, and that's not showing up because that lead actually came in last week. So that's why that's not showing up right now in the stats. But that'll happen if that lead came in that day and then you put it into not a lead, it'll show up in stats right there. So lots of cool stuff here for adding the leads and records into your FlipPilot account. Go ahead and make sure you subscribe to FlipPilot YouTube channel and click that bell button to make sure you get notifications of all these videos as we're adding new features all the time. Want to make sure that you're notified of that and you see those videos with those cool features. So thanks a lot for being a part of FlipPilot. So good to have you in the system and working with it.